Hi to all our ardent viewers. We've got Interleague on this week, and just as a prelude to it, before that we can mention the team later, we just thought we'd have a bit of a chat with, on my right I have Brian Quigley, an ex-chairman of the Latrobe Valley League and currently a member of the AFL Gippsland board. Welcome, Brian. And on my extreme left I have Brian McKenzie, a current member of the Gippsland League board and one of the heavies of Gippsland footy. And of course on my left here I have our regular participant in Keith Anderson. So boys, welcome here.
Chris, how are you?
It's a big occasion. We've got Interleague obviously, and I know you two are big followers of it. And Macca, you know, have you got anything you want to just add before we have a bit of a chat?
Oh, look, it's an important round for the league, Chris. Interleague footy is the pinnacle really of some country footy, and really we need to win this one to start to the steady climb back to the rankings where we really should be as Gippsland footy. So it's an important game this week for the competition against a really strong and I think very competitive team from the Yarra Valley.
Well, Brian, can I chip in here? You mentioned this is one of the pinnacles of the year, you know, grand final, finals, the other thing. Now, here at Maui tonight, and I was up at Moore just a couple of days ago, and I'm hearing whispers that the board is perhaps considering to shift the preliminary final to a Sunday because it clashes with the election date. Now, and that would mean the grand final goes to a Sunday. Now, you know, are the whispers true?
Is this a question without notice, Keith? Is it?
But you don't get any notice when
I think any board should be looking at all possible options, and certainly.
Oh, that's not an answer.
We're looking at the options, Chris, and Keith, sorry, and the election is on a Saturday. Personally, I think there's a bit to be said for Sunday finals. We've got to get more people to the game to both expose the competition and to raise funds, etc. So it could well be. Now, if you have a Sunday preliminary final, you've got to be fair to the winner of that to prepare for the grand final. So if it goes that way, and it's just an item for discussion, then it would go to...
So it's being considered?
It's considered, and can I just say, across the state at Bendigo, Goulburn Valley and Ovens and Murray, they've done Sunday finals for a long time, extremely successfully. Extremely successfully. So you need to take into account that sort of history.
I'm also supportive of that, mate.
Yeah. I'm not going to let Brian off this easy. Our draw has been out since late last year. And it only seems to have been a factor that's come in since the election was called. The consideration's been given to it. And you can make headlines for the Gippsland League because it will be the only sporting event in Australia postponed because of the election, if you go that way.
It hasn't been postponed at all. It's a matter for discussion. I think we need to keep discussing. Look, it's going to be a significant day in the Australian political framework. You've got people who need to vote. They're out of their norm. We've got different electorates across the whole. Just consider the electorates across the Gippsland League. It's an item for discussion.
But I think one thing also on that, Macca, too, just to be fair with the board, Keith, that was a consideration. But there's also the fact that North Gippy do have their grand final on that day. And it's just a consideration at the moment with the board that we're looking at. And at the end of the day, look, wise heads will make a decision, an informed decision once they have everything in place.
Shouldn't that have been factored in when you made the draw? You said, hey, we're going to get that. Should have been a decision made at that stage. It's only come up because of the election. I'm not totally with Brian. I don't really care what other leagues do elsewhere, but I just think in our environment, shifting that game to a Sunday, the preliminary final to a Sunday, and then pushing the grand final to a Sunday, no.
So that's fair enough. I mean, and you're allowed your view, and you know, it still is a free country, and even up until the election, it still will be.
I still have a view on that too.
Yes.
I think our preliminary final crowds over recent years have been appalling, really. And the main thing is that we're competing with local grand finals. And I'm fairly keen to see our prelim final played as a standalone Sunday game. Now, obviously, as Macca and Chris have alluded to, if you take the prelim final to a Sunday, clubs will say, all right, the winning side that day needs the extra day to play their grand final. Certainly the major leagues around the state have played Sunday grand finals for a lot of years. The club I've been tied up with, Terrelgan, has been usually against it because they like that Sunday, win the grand final Saturday, have a huge day Sunday, and let the players carry on all week. But the other major leagues in the state for many years have been standalone Sunday grand finals and been very successful in it. And so I agree with Macca a bit. It's worth discussing at board level, Keith.
And I think, look, the main thing is that it is something that the board is looking at, but let's get on to another question, Keith. You've set the cat amongst the pigeon, and
I reckon this is it's the first time we've had somebody thumping the table.
no, but that's good. It's good, healthy debate, and that's
More
what
as
you
the
think.
Gippsland Commissioner, mate. He's passionate about the game.
So have you got any other insightful question you'd like to ask Keith at this point?
No, I think, Brian, we're all really keen to see where the Commission's going when it's going to get a structure in place.
Yeah, I'm happy to talk Commission, and I'd also like us to spend a couple of minutes talking about interleague because I'm so keen on that, as Macca is. Commission, look, we're a long way behind the rest of the state. Gippsland is unique in the fact that we don't have a central hub, as in, say, a Geelong, Bendigo, Ballarat, Shepparton, and Wodonga. Gippsland is spread two sides of the mountain, if you like, with mountain range. We've got South Gippy down that end. We've got almost into the suburbs now in the western end and up through Bairnsdale on the eastern end. We're a totally different region to the rest of the state. And that's always presented huge problems for the VCFL, for instance, when they've looked at clubs and leagues needy here and there. They've never had any idea how to do something about it. I give great credit to someone smart up above what they've done now, they've decided to do these commissions around the state. I think we went to a day at Etihad about a month ago. They've found about 80 odd blokes, almost all men, maybe some women, who are all but out of football administration these days, but have had a considerable say or a big part or smart football people. And they've recruited them for nothing, if you like. There's 80 odd volunteers around the state now who have joined these commissions, who are lost to football, if you like, who are local, know a lot about their local areas and are keen to see the best for football. To the AFL's, I give them congratulations on the fact that they're financing it. They're finding a way to make it happen. And I think finally, we're going to have some sensible people around the state making decisions that will work locally, and that hasn't happened for a long, long time. So commission-wise, yes, I'm a small part of it, but I do see potential. And the one thing, if I can carry it a little bit further, I like to see people accountable for what they're paid for, and we'll be in a position down the track to appoint a regional general manager. We'll appoint football development people and umpiring people and media people and that underneath. I'm really keen on the idea of someone being accountable or can make it happen from when a kid starts primary school, can go into Auskick, so they can start, there's a football, someone's accountable for what happens at the school, and there's not much of that happened here in Gippsland. Through the school, through AFL Auskick, through AFL Nines, into a junior league situation, whatever that be, then up, and then the Gippsland Power thing comes underneath, and Gippsland Power, to their credit, are a very strong force around the state. They do their bit very, very well. But then up through minor league, major league, and then the AFL takes the cream, and that's what it's all about. So I think there's huge potential for us to improve greatly. Some accountability from kids before they start school, as far as they're going to go. And I don't think we've had that in the past.
Yeah, and I think the AFL ought to be commended. I agree with you there, because at least someone's been smart enough to have a look at that. I think one of the issues, I concur with you in terms of we've been compared to Ballarat, Bendigo, Geelong, and I mean, you're talking 100,000 people, whereas our biggest, whilst Terrell's our biggest town, it's really only 25,000 people. It's not a big town. I mean, it's a big town, but it's in comparison to the others.
Very small.
Yeah. So, but anyway, it looks like something's finally going to happen that can help our region.
I hope so. I think so.
Keith, any more probing questions?
No, I found the discussion very interesting, and I think people in Gippsland football and Gippsland League will find both those issues, both the commission and the finals, very interesting points to discuss. We have a couple of great interleague schools here as we come up with Yarrabelly Mountain District this week here at Maui. Senior game kicking off 2 p.m. Under 18s before that, and there's netball interleague games as well.
Well, 11:45 for the under 18s and 1 p.m. for the netball. So we just want everybody to come and enjoy and support their team, because you have your own home team, and where the league is your second team. So, or hopefully it is. So please come along. But Macca, do you want to just add anything before we move on?
I just think if they haven't been to the redevelopment actual facility here too, it's a great opportunity to see it at a really good standard. But look, it is the pinnacle of the year for quite a few players, and it's certainly a step up in standards. And certainly I think the players who represent the league should be very proud of that, and we should be here to support it.
Yeah, and we're hanging around to see what the team's actually going to be, and hopefully we'll come back later on to give a couple of comments on that, Keith. You want to finish off?
No, I'd like to finish off still. I say too much. You took the risk of bringing them in.
That's all right.
Look, I'm passionate about interleague football. It's fine being part of a successful club, and I was lucky enough to be that as a player. But I just think that interleague football gives a huge chance for players from clubs who, year in, year out, some of them don't get to play at the pinnacle of our league, and we all say premierships are what we're about. A lot of very, very good players don't get that chance, and for them to mix with the elite in the league and form a camaraderie with them, which I can tell you goes on for years afterwards. You play in a successful side of any type, whether it be a club or league, and we've been to the ultimate in this league here. We've won it several times. I know Chris can tell me 3 or 4 times. We've won the state championships. We're a fair way off that now at 9 and 10, but it's important, and I read around the state through the Weekly Times and others where, a lot of leagues now are being very serious about where their standing is, and we believe we're better than what our standing is. Well, I think we're better than 9 or 10, and I'm really keen that this league gets behind this, and if you make success, it'll live with you for years, because the players, the administrators, the trainers, they all come together and work together. There's so much scope in this team environment to enjoy something that's unique in Gippsland. And we're the Gippsland Major League, and I'd love to see us way back up further than 9 or 10.
Okay, well look, obviously we've got 4 keen interleague people here, and we're looking for success on Saturday. So hope that you can all make it to the game and support us. Thank you very much. We'll be back later.